Visitation is not one of the best Fifth Doctor stories, but the setting is interesting at least. By my reckoning, this is the first story set in the past since Horror of Fang Rock. I didn't realise it before, but every story since Star Wars came out has been set either on present-day Earth or on an alien planet in the future. Now we're finally getting back to stories set in Earth's history, and the show is always at its best when they are part of the mix. The opening scene is pretty good, with a 17th century family attacked by a killer robot. Sadly, they all die off screen, which seems like a missed opportunity. It would have been interesting to see them interact with the TARDIS crew. After this, we go back to the TARDIS, where there is a nice conversation between Nyssa and Tegan about her recent experiences with Amara. It's good that they managed to put in these little bits of continuity between stories. Even though they were all written and filmed out of order, it definitely helps the season to hang together. Once they land in ye olde England, they meet Richard Mace, played by Michael Robbins. He's a great guest actor, with a wonderfully plummy theatrical voice, as befits an actor turned highwayman. And he makes a really fun addition to the cast. Unfortunately, he's the only real character that the Doctor and his gang meet. Everyone else is just a nameless villager. This is perhaps down to the large number of regular characters, leaving little room for anybody else to make an impact. Most of the story is really just a repetitive series of characters getting captured and escaping and getting captured again. It feels like lazy writing, and the fact that Eric Sayward was put in charge of the script for the next few years is not a good sign. I'm sure I remember his other stories being better than this. The aliens here are the pterodactyls, in their one and only appearance. It's not hard to see why they were never used again. The costumes look really tatty and unconvincing, even by the standards of the time. Michael Mellier tries his best as the pterodactyl leader, but he just looks so ridiculous that he's really fighting a losing battle. Fortunately, their android looks much better, whether in its glitzy natural state or disguised as Death himself. The ending is something I particularly remember from childhood, as we get the Great Fire of London starting on Puddy Lane, which I remember being a really big twist at the time, and it still works. They never mention a specific date at any point in the story, just that it's around 300 years before Tegan's time, so it should be a decent reveal to anyone who doesn't know the ending already. And the Puddy Lane sets look a lot more detailed and realistic than the ones used for the rest of the story, so it's just a shame that they couldn't have spent more time there. The DVD has about an hour of extras, even though it was one of the earlier ones. The longest is Directing Who, a 25-minute interview with Peter Moffat, who talks about all his Doctor Who stories from A State of Decay through to the Two Doctors. Not much about the Visitation, but he died a few years later, so it's good that they were able to capture his memories while they could. There's a 16-minute interview with the composer Paddy Kingsland about the music, 5 minutes of deleted scenes which aren't that exciting, and a 12-minute interview with the writer Eric Sayward, who talks frankly about what did and didn't work, which gives me slightly more hope that he knew what he was doing. Overall, it's very slow and repetitive. It's good to have a period setting for a change, but they don't really make the most of it. I'll give it 3 out of 10. Next week, another period story, Black Orchid. And it's only 2 episodes long, hooray! So I will have time to listen to the commentary, which should be a laugh. So press subscribe if you want to know what I make of that, and I'll see you next time.